All right, everyone, let me have your attention. We're about to begin our program for the evening tonight. As tradition calls for, we are beginning our event with the recitation of Quran. And it is my honor and privilege to invite Sergeant Ali Hamaktu. Did I pronounce it right? I always mess up on that one. From 62nd Precinct, please. Welcome.
He's not the first one messing up. It's okay. I know it's not easy. Welcome, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace be upon you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب صدق الله العظيم. Say, O Allah, owner of the sovereignty, you give sovereignty to whom you will, and you take sovereignty away from whom you will. You honor whom you will, and you humble whom you will. In your hands is all good. Indeed, you are over all things competent. You cause the night to enter the day, and you cause the day to enter the night. And you bring the living out of the dead, and you bring the dead out of the living. And you give provision to whom you will without account. Thank you. Today, obviously the provision is to one of our loved ones, Captain Rana. God gave him the provision. Thank God. Alhamdulillah. Welcome all.
MashaAllah, thank you for the beautiful recitation. And Ali, it wouldn't be justice if I don't say, ay wallah, right? All right, some people got it. They're watching that on Netflix. All right. Before we begin tonight, I want to take care of a pending business from a couple of days ago. We had a very, very important press conference right here outside, in which, with the NYPD, Muslim Officer Society, the Pakistani American Youth Society, the Khyber Society of America, and coalition of 17 organizations celebrated 90 days of consecutive hard work, community-funded program where we cooked freshly cooked hot halal meals. As you can see, one of the cars is outside. We had 4 of these and a mobile truck that went throughout the city. In past 90 days, we went to most impacted communities, that were hurt by the COVID-19 pandemic. And we were able to serve 92,000 meals in 90 days. A huge, huge milestone, and we were told by the state officials that this is the biggest food distribution program in the state of New York. So a round of applause to the fraternity, NYPD, NY. So I know Officer Samina Alam is not here, but we have 2 of amazing MOS here. I just want to call them on a stage to recognize the Officer Sagir Ahmed and Sergeant Ali. Take a picture? Sure. Captain, you gotta come in this picture. Yeah, both. Please come in. Right in the middle. You don't know how to use it. It's iPhone. I'll take it. It's Mina Glenda. All right, thank you. All right, Assalamu alaikum and peace and blessings, everyone. We are here to celebrate our brother Adeel Rana, who has just made a history in the Pakistani American community by assuming a commanding officer's role at 84th Precinct as a commanding officer. A round of applause for this amazing person. Most of us had a privilege and honor of knowing Captain Adeel Rana when we were just rugrats running around the Coney Island Avenue here and playing cricket right across this facility in the park. So Captain Adeel Rana, welcome home. We witnessed his progression in how he became a mentor, a community leader, a friend, but I really know him as a brother. This is not a coincidence. He worked very hard at achieving all of these goals, and we wish him all the best in continuously making history for all of us. He's not perfect, and by that I mean none of us are perfect either. But what he chose to do over the years is to learn and listen and apply good practices in his life and career. His success is a true American story. He's a role model to many, and today we will listen to those people in his life who can share his life achievements. Personally, when he joined NYPD as an auxiliary, it motivated me to follow his footsteps, and now I'm very proud to say after 16 years, I am an auxiliary sergeant myself in the 66th Precinct. And following his leadership skills, I'm very proud to say that I also became the highest ranking Pakistani American in the New York City government as a New York City Deputy Public Advocate. Now next, I'd like to invite another great person who made history in past years, became the first captain from Pakistani American community. Please welcome Captain Wahid Akhtar of Brooklyn Central.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It took a long time. You know what, I should, if I'm not sleeps up, I should have some tears, but you know what, I'm emotional, but I'm hard too. It took a long time, alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah, we are in a position today to celebrate this great moment that one of our own, one of our hardworking, very competent brother who achieved the first of the great, not the first one, but the few, many, but the greatest milestone, being a commanding officer, patrol command. Brother Adeel, congratulations. So approximately 16 years ago, we started the police department as a police officer. Not many people were in the commands at that time. And these words, these stories never get old, believe it or not. Whenever you just look back, and it feels like yesterday. And it have impacted us from every direction. Like, you know, I can touch on 9/11, and even prior to that, and the post 9/11 also. When any of Pakistani descent, Pakistani American become police officer, when they came into command, everybody can understand, like, you know, what the looks. And what they call it, you know, elephant in the room. And I remember myself, and I know Adeel's story is not any different, although he was the auxiliary police officer, but we were looked at differently. Maybe we did not belong there at that moment. But thank God, with Allah's blessing and mercy, with our hard work and the help of community, the sentiment has been changed. Now we have over 1,500 Muslim officers. We have over 300 Pakistani American police officers in NYPD. Great achievement. And I had a dream. When I became police officer, I have a dream. I said, you know what, inshallah, within 15 to 20 years, we'll have more than 20 Muslim captains. We are getting there. We almost have gotten there. We have, alhamdulillah, 7 Pakistani American NYPD captains. You know what, where have seen that? And the key point, among them all, you know what? Where is the jewel, the gem? Captain Adeel Rana. Yeah. He has worked very hard. Uncounted restless hours, sacrificed his time. You know what? Kudos to you. I cannot do what you have done. Sacrificing your family time, trust me, nobody can do it. When we are sleeping, you know, we're chilling with our family members, you know, he is doing some community work, some police work, something good somewhere. And not everybody can do it. So you know what, you have to praise where it belongs. So, and for sure, you know what, I have I'm not expecting anything he's gonna do for me. So you know what, it's not, I'm just kissing up to him. I'm just telling the truth. And now, alhamdulillah, with Allah's blessing, with hard work, and I appreciate, you know what, I personally, I'm thankful for the NYPD executive staff. They have acknowledged, and nobody has given it, oh, you know what, we're gonna just give it to you because of diversity, you know, no. That conversation was brought up so many times. This department is very diverse. It's still not inclusive. I will say it very loud and clear, it's still not inclusive. But Adeel is picked for that position on merit, for solely his hard work. Not for the reason, oh, you know what, they want to just like, you know, put someone other person, oh, you know, this community needs a seat on a table. No. It took a long time, as I said, you know what, it took a long time, but rightly so, alhamdulillah, that we have at least one seat on a bigger table. And I can thank God for that. And moving forward, what I expect from the community, you know what, our community has to be united. They have to stick together. They have to come as a strong one voice. So the community is acknowledged as a community. They are not being put on the side table somewhere on the back row. And we will like look at you when we get there. You know, I have so many things to say. You know, when I start talking, I don't shut up. So, but I'm gonna make it quite simple and short. Adeel, I'm proud of you, brother. Ali, I'm gonna just go back. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qul Allahumma malikal mulk tu'til mulka man tasha wa tanzil mulka mimman tasha wa tu'izzu man tasha wa tuzillu man tasha bi yadikal khair. Innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. And any moment when you feel short or you feel pushed aside or incidentally you fall down, never forget. For Muslims, they know this is the verse 25 of chapter 3 in Holy Quran. God is in charge. People are not. Believe it or not. Nobody holds your destiny. Nobody holds your destiny. And I repeat a million times, you know what? God created you and He is the solely who holds your destiny. He honors you or He dishonors you. This all comes from Him. No matter what people try to do it, when Allah is going to reward you, He's going to reward you. And we have example of that. Captain Adeel Rana. I would say, alhamdulillah, all praises to God. This was the time, this was the day set that he was going to be rewarded and he's going to be awarded this position. But this day could have come earlier. But you know what? Let's not get that conversation. As I said, God bless us all. I pray, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, more successes, makes you the star of community. And we have many more to come. All the newcomers, all the young generation, please keep studying hard. Study, study, study. The captain is a rank, nobody can stop you from there. And after that, still, if God has destined you for the position, nobody can stop you again. Work hard, stick together, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us safe. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us away from the evil and jealousy, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the unity. Assalamu alaikum, and congratulations.
Jazakallah khair for the wise words, Captain Wahid Akhtar. Next, it's my honor to invite Inspector Michael Telfer of Counterterrorism to come and share his thoughts.
Assalamu alaikum. I think I'm gonna sit back down because he said it all already, so there's nothing more left for me to say. But while I'm here, you know, I really want to talk a little bit about Adeel, you know, because his story is our story, you know, and our story is a story of immigrants, you know. You say, well, you're not from Pakistan. No, well, I'm from the Caribbean. And we used to love to beat Pakistan when it comes to cricket. I mean, we used to love beating everybody. It doesn't matter who. You know what I mean? It didn't matter who. But Pakistan, I remember the kid growing up back in the 70s and the 80s in the Caribbean, was one of the teams that gave us a hard time. We beat Pakistan, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't like we beat England. You know, but so we always have that love for Pakistan. We identify as one, you know. And it's really, really important what we're doing today to celebrate Adeel and achieving the commanding officer of a command. Because I look back at myself 27 years ago when I joined the police department. And I tell you, I remember one of the first times when I walked into one police plaza, the building looked so tall. I mean, it was humongous. Now it has shrunk, or maybe I've grown a little bit. I mean, but it is different. And what he said, you know, people make you feel as if you don't belong. I mean, like you shouldn't be there, you know? So when we are able to achieve stuff like this, we should all come together as a community and celebrate. We celebrate today, we're gonna celebrate tomorrow, we're gonna celebrate next week. We're gonna lift each other up, and we're gonna lift Adeel up. I mean, and let him know that we are proud of you. And I told him yesterday, you know, I feel like I'm the one that's become the commanding officer. That's how proud I am of him. And I remember the first time when I met Adeel, you know, and he was a picture of humility. He was a lieutenant then, but the guy was so humble. It was just unbelievable. It's not every day you meet people like this. And he was one of the people that made me think about the Muslim faith, you know. Because if the faith could produce people like Adeel, then there must be something right. There must be something going on there, you know. And that started me on my journey, you know. But it's just a wonderful feeling. And like, well, he said he wanted to cry. I don't want to cry today, but a couple days ago I wanted to cry. I mean, well, not today. Today I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to cry today, but I am really, really proud of you. And the only thing I wish for him is for him to get promoted to deputy inspector, for him to be, you know. And God's willing, the sky is the limit. But we really, really have to stay together. We have to really stay behind each other. And all the young cops that are here, you know, listen, you are not alone. I mean, we are here for you also. I mean, and whatever I can do, and that's one of the reasons, you know, I'm gonna digress, I'm gonna sit down, I won't be like Wahid, I'm not gonna talk all night. Like him, I like to talk, but I won't stay all night. But if you notice what's going on with the police department now, a lot of people are running out the door, a lot of guys are retiring, they're running away. I mean, I can promise you one thing, I am not going anywhere. And the main reason why I'm not going anywhere is because as long as I am here, I can do something. I can't do anything for us when I'm out there. But as long as I can do something here, I can change the world in my little corner. And we are all a part of my world. All right, so again, Adeel, congrats. Congrats, 100 congrats. And may God continue to bless you. All right?
Thank you, Inspector Delford. The next person that I want to introduce is somebody who is the Pakistani American secret weapon, right? Who is also one of the most hardest working individuals I know, and the person doesn't give 2 cents about recognition. He wants to get the work done. And there are very few people like that that exist in our community. And there's so many things that I want to say about that person, but just I think saying that he's our secret weapon is more than enough to say. It's my honor to introduce Detective Rohil Khalid from 62nd Precinct.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Congratulations, brother, on your well-deserved promotion. I was not surprised when I heard that you're the new commanding officer of 84 Precinct. You well deserve that. You have worked very hard to get where you are, and I'm glad Police Commissioner finally awarded you. You may have more responsibilities now, but I know you are more than equipped to handle them. I cannot wait to see what you do in your new role as a commanding officer. You are evidence that great things come to those who are willing to work hard to reach their goals. You have the determination and creativity to accomplish whatever you dream. Enjoy this exciting time, and once again, congratulations, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
The next person that I want to invite is not on the list, but he just walked in, so I'm just going to surprise him, catch him unprepared. It's my privilege to invite one of my mentors, Umar Butt, who's been here for a very long time, a well-known name in our community. Please welcome Umar Butt.
Wow. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here, and also Assalamu alaikum. It is unbelievable, actually. I've known Captain Rana for a very long time. I definitely don't want to leak out every little thing about him as he was growing up. But I would love to say, right there in that schoolyard, we would sit there and we would watch what's going on in our community. And even at one time, we both were like, if we were sent to Pakistan by any chance, would we be able to survive? And the answer was no. Basically, what it meant was that we're American. We're not American because we just got here. We're American because we grew up here in a very diverse community that's a melting pot. Watching him sit there and always thinking and looking at what's going wrong, that's when you know that there is a leader. I've always heard that either leaders are born or leaders are made. I did see qualities of a born leader. We just didn't know what he was made of. I'm not surprised he became a police officer, but I can quite honestly tell you that I'm extremely surprised at the position you are at today. All odds were against us. All odds were against you. Leaders have visions. They have compassion. They're not whom you fear from. They're the ones who have the vision, and they're the ones who take that challenge when no one believes in them. Captain Rana, I don't think many people believed when you were so young and you would say that you're going to get there to help people and help the society and humanity. You made it. This is what we call a true leader. A man with compassion, who is a true alpha and cares for the one is in the most need, and he has proven it.
Next, I'd like to invite Captain Ruben of 62nd Precinct.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here tonight. I go back a long way with Captain Rana. I remember him as an auxiliary police officer 20-odd years ago in the 6-2 precinct. Your coordinator was what, Jerry Klein? Right. So I got promoted to captain 2003, moved on in my career. I came back to Brooklyn South in 2016, roughly, and I ran into Lieutenant Rana. And he told me who he was. I didn't remember him at first, then I did it. I was like, oh my God. I said, that's fantastic. You're lieutenant. And he told me he's on the captain's list, and subsequently he got promoted captain. Now this achievement, and like I said, from all my heart, Captain Rana, congratulations. You know, mazel tov. I'm sure you're going to do very well. And I hope to be here when you make DI, okay? Thank you, everyone.
as mentioned earlier, that there was a huge campaign project that we took 90 days ago, which became the biggest food distribution program in the state. There were visionaries, there were partners like Captain Adeel, Rana, like SN Chittai. The perfect triangle, the third piece of the triangle of that whole coalition being put together is someone that I'd like to introduce next. He wears many, many hats. He has a lot of businesses that he offered to the people when they were in need in the past 3 months when we were reaching the apex of COVID-19. And he also is a founder of many nonprofit organizations and faith groups, and one of the leading personalities in our community. So it's my honor that he, but before I introduce him, just wanted to mention that we also launched 2 days ago another organization called Brooklyn Emerge. So congratulations to all of us. We are all part of you and in the endeavors. So please welcome Brother Zabriya Khan.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for your time. Inshallah, I won't really take much of your time because the food is ready and the food is hot. I know Captain Adeel Rana for the last 15 years, and I'll just mention one aspect of his life that I know that which really inspired me, is that from the very beginning, he was involved with our community, especially with our youngsters, with our community. He has been an example, an epitome to so many youth, alhamdulillah, who joined then later on NYPD. I remember in his days when we used to play cricket, he used to sponsor those events. And he used to have some activities for our youth to be involved with, for our youth to be positively used. So alhamdulillah, all those caps that he had been playing with, alhamdulillah, they are somewhere right now. So there are so many other aspects of his life, but since I don't want to take much of your time, so one other thing is that, as someone asked Elon Musk that what is the secret behind your success? He said that if other people work 50 hours a week, I work 100 hours a week. So I achieve things in half of the time that other people do. So mashallah, this has also been true with Captain Adeel Rana, mashallah, who has been working so hard for the community. And wallahi, we are so proud of him. We are so proud of not even him, but alhamdulillah, all the brothers who are sitting here, all the community leaders, alhamdulillah, all our NYPD officers who have been working hard, we are proud of you. And inshallah, the good thing that I see from you is that your relationship with the community. Because if you don't really connect to our community, then you might be successful in your own personal life, but you will miss out on so much good that you can get, inshallah. So may Allah give us the tawfiq, inshallah, to inshallah even work more harder for our community and make this community, inshallah, stronger and stronger with each day, inshallah. Jazakallah. Thank you.
So next we have a newly promoted Lieutenant Fakhrul Islam of Transit District 34 to come and share his thoughts, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Like I said, a lot of brothers said everything that I want to say. So they took the words. My driver, my partner, I gotta say, he knows everything I preach every day is about this, about community, about us putting Allah first and then doing everything else. Like Captain Rana, I might work behind the task, but I have the same vision, and I had the same vision back at 2003 to have the community work together. I did grow up here, I did attend the school right here, so yeah, it's amazing that you come back in the same community, and like the inspector said, we do feel uncomfortable when we go in, like I said, you guys all took the words, and you go there after 9/11, you get hired in this job, people think you were part of it, the way you were treated, and now today, a lot of us came a long way, doing great stuff. We have the future that is here, and we try and guide them, and they are looking up to us, so we want to have that straight path of greatness in this job, because this is a wonderful job. We all going through a lot, like I said, this time with community unrest because of police brutality and stuff like that, is because sometimes people don't understand the community. You gotta understand different community has different background. For example, in this community, you got the Haitian community, Caribbean community, you have the Pakistani and Bangladeshi community. We all do have a different background, right? How do we understand those people? What are their culture behind it? So you have to approach in that aspect. And why am I saying that? That's why Captain Rana, like they said, the compassion. He has that, and he will understand it, because the brother takes so much time to give us, all of us, at the same token, without any hesitation. He will pick up the phone 3 o'clock in the morning. This is what leadership is, giving your time for others. So, and we try to follow your footsteps with Captain Aweed and the other captains and the other leaders. So, like I always tell guys, everybody is a leader, and leadership to me is integrity. If you have integrity, you are a leader, because you could be the same officer. It's not about rank, and if you see something wrong and if you call it out, you are the leader. All right, leadership.
Thank you, Lieutenant Corporal Islam. That's a beautiful message of community working together with their partners in NYPD, and that's a good segue of bringing our last speaker to the stage. To me, this person, it means a lot to me. You know, I have 2 blood sisters. I don't have a brother. So the person that fulfilled that responsibility in my life is the person that I'm about to introduce. Everybody knows him, that he wears many, many, many hats. You know, whenever we are in distress and our families are in hospital, he's our go-to guy. He's been in Maimonides for over 20 years. He has founded many nonprofit organizations, and true community leader, and a true community brother, and a true visionary and true partner with the NYPD. It's my honor and privilege to introduce my brother, Hassan Chiptai.
All right. I guess we're all supposed to be wearing masks, right? You know. Like Omar, I'm out for words, man. When I saw the post, even though I was supposed to get a call from Adeel, but he never called, I saw it on Facebook first, and I swear I sat there and just looked at it and looked at it and looked at it. I was like, wow. That's my little brother right there, man. It gave me goosebumps. I was emotional. It took me a minute to gather my thoughts, and was very proud. Very, very proud moment. There's been many proud moments, but this is up there with the proud moments that we've achieved. How far we come along. You know, I am one of the privileged who have known Adeel for a long, long, long time. Me and Omar had the privilege to be with his father, may Allah rest his soul, when he was alive. And you know, what a humble man, what a gracious man that he was. And you see the roots where they come from. And today he's looking down upon Adeel, and I'm sure, I know for a fact, that he's so proud of his son. Look at what he's accomplished. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of secrets that me and Omar don't want to tell you, but where he is today, it's a very proud moment. And not only the fact that, you know, the stories that you guys know, his struggles when he went to the Army, 9/11 happened, and where he was as a tank driver. Then the auxiliary, and this is all literally quietly. One day I found out he's in the military. I'm like, what the? Then I found out he's auxiliary. Next day, I'm standing in front of, it used to be called Bahad, and I see a police van outside. What the hell is a police van doing outside a restaurant? You never saw that before, you know what I mean? Because there wasn't that many Pakistani cops. And I go inside, and he's there with his smirk on his face with his uniform on. I'm like, what happened? Did you get promoted or something? You know, because I thought he was auxiliary. He was wearing the white, you know, usually wear the white as a ranking officer in auxiliary. So I see a blue uniform. I'm like, and he's there, you know, always the same, that little grin that he has. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you became a cop. And me and Omar was very pissed. We were so highly mad at him. I mean, obviously so proud, because we didn't get a chance to go to his graduation when he first became a cop. But proud moments. But those are things that everybody knows, right?
There's a lot of things behind the scenes that nobody knows. Why is he who he is? And it's because of his mother. His mother is the backbone. His mother taught him everything that he knows. His father, who passed, taught him everything who he is. And the wife that he has at home who's taking care of his kids, who tells him, go out there, don't worry, I got your back. Those are people that have never recognized. Those are people that have never understood. My wife is right there. She's my backbone. She's the one who allows me to be who I am. And we should all know our mothers, our wives, our parents are the ones that allow us to do what we are able to do. And nobody really talks about that. Nobody really takes about that. So let's give everybody's family a round of applause. And my mom, who's sitting at home, alhamdulillah, when I leave the house, she prays for me. When I come back, she prays for me. Those are the blessings that we get, and that's how we're able to do what we're able to do. This, when I found this out, I made, first phone call, and we set this up in literally, the day I called Adeel. I said, Adeel, dude, I'm not even asking you, I'm telling you, you're coming here on Wednesday. And he says, okay, all right, same thing with the green, yeah, whatever. But he's so humble about things. He doesn't like showing off. He doesn't like coming out in the praise. He hates these things. Even though he has to do it, he knows he has to lead the community. He knows he has to do it. But if you know him personally, he hates pictures, he hates newspapers, he hates talking. My God, if you would have heard him speak the first time he ever spoke, it looked like somebody who was retarded. And now, look at him. He's polished and spoken very, very well. So alhamdulillah, we've come a long way, and it just took us 2 days. I'd like to thank Rohil for helping me put this together. Kashif, where is Asabay? Asabay is always in the picture somewhere. Oh, there he is. Okay, there. Asabay, and most importantly, the gentleman who's sitting right there. That I don't know why he's wearing pink, but if you can stand up for a second, dude. This man, let me just tell you, never comes in the scenes, never behind the scenes. The 92,000 meals that we gave out, him, Zakaria Bhai right there, all of our coalition partners. One thing is definitely volunteering, which day and day was a grind. Every day that we did that, it was a day and day grind. You guys don't know what that means. You have to get the oil ready. You got to get the food ready. You got to get the volunteers ready. You got to get them early. You got to get the food truck out into Queens, into the Bronx. And Adeel Bhai just makes a phone call and says, hey, I need a truck in the Bronx. Okay, all right, but the logistics behind it are very, very difficult. And all these people did an amazing job, and that's why we honored them on Sunday when we had the press conference, and the elected officials came, as you guys saw. So I like to honor these people, and then the biggest thing is the cost. People thought that we got government money. No, we didn't get no goddamn government money. Nobody gave us a dime. This is people like Furam. Where's Mohammed Bunya? Mohammed Bunya, stand up. This is my Bengali brother. Never recognized, never this. All he said was, how much money do you need? And it was a blind check. I can't even tell, I don't want to tell you how much, because then you people start asking for money. And so many people in here. And I want to thank, I can name Raja Bhai is here. Oh my God, Adnan is here. Can you imagine he came from Queens for Adeel? Adeel, did you know Adnan is here? Right there you go. And my brother who couldn't even walk, Murabba, came in crutches. So, Adeel, this is a beautiful day. And just humble that we're able to be here today. Humble that, I got my beautiful brother Nomi here. All these young police officers. Man, you guys are the future, guys. Nomi was a little rug rat as a PACE member when he first started out. Now look at him. Handling Bronx, that's right. We're gonna take over Bronx too. And then God, dude, do you guys realize what a dream it was for me and Omar to see a white jersey? Look at these white jerseys. They're us. There was okay, not jersey. Sorry, white shirts. Captain Vahid, my bad. He's always corrected me. And then Captain Vahid also, time punctual. None of you guys were here, but he was here. It's like, what time, guys? Come on, let's go. You don't have me on that. So it is an honor, and the future is looking bright, man. The future is looking bright when we have our first commanding officer of a precinct. That opens up so many doors. How we got here and where we're headed towards the future. That's right. You're damn right we're going to become DIs. You're damn right we're going to become chiefs. We have to demand it. We have to. We don't have to ask them no more. Okay, sir, please. No, that please is gone. There's no more please. Now we demand it. As a community, we have to support them. So they're able to do what they're able to do. If we don't, as a community, support them, they can't do what they're able to do. No way. Their hands are tied. But we as a community untie their hands. And how you untie their hands is we demand their promotions. We demand that they're part of, like we said, at the table. I think somebody just mentioned, if we're not at the table, then we're nobody. We need to be at the table. And inshallah, next mayor that comes in, we're gonna get even bigger, inshallah. And like we just did Yvette's campaign. We did amazing. 37,000 votes, and majority than she got from here. She knows that, everybody knows in Congress knows. This community is to be reckoned with, so you better recognize. Without further ado, let's get this ball rolling. We need to honor the man for tonight. Adeel bhai, I know it's very painful. Listen, I know it's Kawish. But listen, we're in Little Pakistan, brother. So we gotta do a little Kawish stuff. Get up here, man. Mike is. Wow.
Frame it and bring it one.
Assalamu alaikum. Man, I just forgot everything that I was thinking about. So, you guys said everything. I mean, I'm like speechless. But, you know, what he mentioned about crying before, you know, about Salim Saab, but it really is a very emotional moment when you stand here in front of so many unique people, you know, from the job, from NYPD, from the community, from friends, and our youngsters coming up. You know, it leaves you speechless because, you know, I might be thinking, you know, I'm just doing a job, but the impact that it makes is unimaginable, unmeasurable. You know, I mean, the first time I really felt it, you know, I remember a person who's, I think is a sergeant now, but the first time he saw me, you know, in an event or something, and we introduced, he goes, "Yeah, I know you." I said, "You do? I don't know you." You know, like, he's like, "I used to see you, you know, interacting at festivals and other things," and I was like, I want to be like that guy. When I was doing it, I'm telling you right now, I had no idea what I was doing. But that's why it's very important. I know Brother Islam mentioned about integrity and everything. That's part of that also. When you interacting with somebody, interact from the heart. Interact the way you would want to be interacted. That goes a long way. It makes a big difference in people's lives. You know, I think Brother Awad one time mentioned to me, if you don't know Awad, he's a great guy, I worked with him. You know, even when you do a car stop or you stop somebody and it's a man with his kids, just remember, to those kids, he's the king. If you remember that, you'll know how to interact with that individual. Because when you stop him, when you talk to him in a humble manner, one, you'll get the respect back, but also the impact you're putting on those kids. You know, that's a big thing. And, you know, if we remember these little things, these things go a long way. But you know, like, I'm really, really, really speechless because all the love. First of all, I really don't think I deserve what I have right now because there are so many individuals, talented individuals. You know, we have our first Pakistani American captain in the NYPD, Wahid Akhtar, you know, who broke that barrier. You know, he had the dedication and commitment. You know, he had a goal. Unlike me, you know, I just winged the test. You know, I don't know how I passed, but I passed. you know, he had the dedication to sit there and study.
You're smarter than us.
No, I might be lucky, that's all. But that's an example. You know, you go to, just like the individual I mentioned to you that said, I want to be like you, there are hundreds of other individuals that saw his example and said, he can be there, I can be there. Not only in our community, but every other community saw that. That makes a big difference. Every little thing you do, you might think it's just for nothing. You know, it's just a smile that goes a long way. You know, if you are walking by, especially in uniform, and just say hello to somebody, that shocks people. That makes a big difference. You know, Kashi mentioned about mistakes. Listen, I'm telling you, just thank God where I'm standing, because there are many, many mistakes that we make in our lives. That's why it's very important to always give somebody a chance. You know, you can make a mistake, you can stand here and you can make that wrong decision, and your life can dictate with that wrong decision. But as long as you work hard, acknowledge that mistake, and make sure it doesn't happen again. Make sure others learn from it, so this way others don't make that kind of mistake. It goes a long way. You know, so yes, mistakes, we all do make mistakes. And I think we continue to make mistakes, that's why we're human. You know, but learning it and making a difference, that, you know, that goes a long way. You know, I did start out as an auxiliary, like Captain Ruben said. You know, we had some good interactions. I learned a lot. That's why I really support the auxiliary program. And, you know, especially if you want to become a police officer, it's a good way to learn what you're going to get into. You know, I was one step, maybe 2-3 steps ahead of others because the experience I had. You know, so, you know, and then obviously interacting with people like, you know, Captain Ruben, Detective Richie, who was there at the time, Jimmy Spraccio. I mean, no one probably knows except probably Richie and Ruben, and Captain Ruben. You know, these were the examples that we had. We didn't have any of our own examples. We had others that we were fortunate enough that they were able to guide us. You know, because of those people's guidance, those people's assistance, that's where we're standing, I'm standing. And, you know, God willing, more people will follow us because we will be the example for them, you know. So as far as youth, you know, Zakir Bhai mentioned about the programs. You know, these were the small programs that, you know, I was actually at a lunch at a restaurant this afternoon, Patricia's, and the guys came up to me, the workers and the owner, and they like introduced me to a Pakistani guy, I guess that works for them. And he's like, oh, this guy knows you. When he heard about your name, he wanted to come meet you. And it's one of the kids that used to play in the cricket league. You know, so it's like amazing how you run into people, you know, when you make a difference. People come up to you, you know, people, you know, I know from that league, people became doctors in law school, businesses, and you don't know that because you're just doing a sports program. You don't know what's going on. But when years later, when somebody comes up to you like, oh, I stayed out of trouble because I knew I was playing with you guys, you know, that tells you, you know, you did something. You did something positive, you know. You know, community service, we all are part of doing community service. You have to give back to your community. You know, we all, you know, can have a 9-to-5 job or whatever schedule you have and go home to the families. But like Asan said, you have to have this family support and to understand what it means. And gathering like this, not only for myself, but others, when they achieve something in the community, makes it more valuable for those families that might not support their loved ones to go outside. Because they know someone cares. They know that someone values the time that you spent out, you know? I mean, I'll tell you the other day, you know, it was a last minute, you know, cake thing on Monday, which I had no plan of leaving because I wanted to spend time with the family, you know, but I told my son, who was very upset when I told him I had to leave, but I told him, no, this is a surprise, you know, they want to do this last minute, you know, I have to go, you know? He didn't say anything. All he asked was, when you're going to come back, you know? But that's why, because he saw that someone is appreciating that, you know? So, you know, this right here, I have no idea. I mean, I don't know why I'm still talking, but it really, I really appreciate all the things that you guys do, and I will continue to say, community, the unity is the most important thing. We can all have our differences, and we will. If we don't, then there's something wrong with us, if we don't have our differences. But we have to stick together. We have to work with our community, our neighbors, our interfaith partners, to show them what we really are. Just like when Inspector Telfer mentioned, when he saw me, your interaction, I didn't know he ever even thought about it like that. This is the first time I heard that. But makes you feel good. We're the one who have to go and tell people what our community really is. You know, you mentioned about September 11. I know I say this many times. You know, I was there at Ground Zero with an officers, and they had no idea what Islam is. They never met a Muslim person, probably. But guess what? When they were there, talking to me for hours, they didn't know they were talking to a Muslim until I let them finish, until they say, oh, this isn't their religion, they have to destroy things. They have to attack. You know, then I asked him, what do you think I am? You know, so he was like shocked. You know, I told him, listen, I'm happy that you mentioned all these things, because now you know what really is to be a Muslim. Like, you know, the things that we have to face, and the things that you will learn about a person who's Muslim. So it goes a long way. You know, we mentioned also about being on the table, being in the system, like Inspector Telfer said. You know, we can all protest, we can all do things we want, you know, change this. We all know everything needs to be changed. Whether for good or bad, it's a revolving thing, right? Just like the time doesn't stop at one place, it needs to change. You know, with the environment, everything changes. But guess what? You cannot change things unless you're part of that system. Who would have thought in one police plaza you could hold a Ramadan iftar meal for 1,000 people? I would have never thought that, you know? Who would have thought that every Friday at the police headquarters they hold a Jummah prayer? I would have never thought that, you know? Who would have thought during the Ramadan, obviously this year was unique, but every year you have high-ranking officials, from chiefs, from, you know, 4-star chiefs all the way down to captains and lieutenants, visit masjids, mosques, and community centers for iftar. Why is that? That's because the officers that are sitting here are in the system telling people what is it to be a Muslim. And also the community that supports these officers. We can do our job, but no one will know or anything, right? Unless the community also interacts with these officers, and these officers interact with the community, you know? So, I know that everyone's saying that it's a big task. You know, like I told you before, I feel I don't deserve it. And, you know, I know it's just a saying, but really, it's a lot of work. But the most thing I'm afraid of is not letting any one of you down. Not myself, but my community. Because I am the one, like they said, since I happen to be the first one to get it, it's gonna be the one, oh, if I mess up, that's why we don't give it to them. That's why it's this, that's why it's that. So the burden is more to make sure my community, my friends, my next generation that's sitting here, and that is not even here, the thousands of members that we have that are officers looking forward to becoming a captain and chief and commissioner one day, God willing, they will have, their future will be dictated the way myself, Wahid, and other executives that are going to be performing.
Jackie Robinson.
So, seriously, I mean, I came here, I was really speechless. I don't know where these words are coming from, but, it's because of the love that I'm getting from you guys. We have individuals in this room, like Asen, Kashif, Omar, Murabad, Kurambai, Bunyan, Raja, Zakria Bhai, Kasser, everyone. No, seriously, Richie, you have so much time on, you've experienced a lot of different changes. I'm pretty sure, even in the 6-2, as far as officers and the communities, I'm pretty sure you saw all that change. Because trust me, when I was auxiliary, that 6-2 doesn't look the same, But like, he's dedicated most of his career to solving cases, doing the work, representing and taking care of our brother here, Rohil, who needs a lot of taking care of, trust me. So, I really give it to you for taking care of this guy because he really needs it. No, seriously, he's a hard-working guy, but you still need to take care of him. But seriously, I want to say thank you. If I missed anybody, if I said anything, really, it's a moment for everyone. And God help us. While I was talking about the example, I just remember one thing. Recently, one of our members got promoted to captain. I ran into him at a detail, which is like an assignment or something for people that don't know. And first thing he said, listen, I think I have it enough. I'm going to go become a lieutenant. I was like, what? How is that possible? Not that it's not done before. We know people that gave up their rank because they're afraid to do the work. This individual is not afraid to do the work, but the demand, especially times like this, that is put on you as a new person, especially, it's a lot. You have to be able to take it, but that doesn't mean you give up. But you know what? One thing I was able to tell him, I said, "Are you crazy? If I was doing that, if I was the first, or anybody else, or you were the first one, I can understand you saying that. But you have so many people that you can call. You can call me, you can call Wahid, I named them, 3-4 other captains that are, part of the circle. Why you need to worry about giving up?" You know what the guy said? He goes, "You know what? I never even thought about that. I never even thought that I had the resources I can just pick up and call." So that's why these things make a difference. Thank you, and thank you. I really, no, I can't. But I don't want to, I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
So everybody witnessed that we did the most Pakistani thing here. I mean, this is even unorthodox for me to see hard and everything. The second most Pakistani thing we do in our community is the cake. All right? Just want people to let those people know who don't know. And here we go. He's Pakistani now right now.
What the deal? Can I take it? You guys more than one you guys want to picture with you. Let's go.